The final department presentation is the Office of County Counsel. Stephen Madcore, County Counsel, will present.
Saving the best for last.
Yeah, always,
Good
right?
to see you, Budget Committee members. Thank you for having me. I don't think I had an option there, did I?
No.
No. Thank you for having us. I have behind me some members of my office as well who are giving a primer on how to present a budget to the Budget Committee. Every year I come before you and I tout how the Office of County Counsel is a lean operation. It is people, paper, and pencils. And that is all our budget really entails. And it is an efficient and effective legal representation office. I say we are a boutique law firm at Walmart prices. And with that, I will direct your attention to the two sheets that I am supposed to identify for you. And the one I have is tab 27-5. And this shows, the yellow column in particular, my office's increased reliance on general fund. One of the reasons for that is because our costs increase every year. COLA, personnel, copiers, paper, pencil, computer, things along those lines. Our revenues stay relatively static. We are at the $126 hourly rate for lawyers and I think $75 for support staff. In addition, during these emergencies, whether it's ballot counting emergencies or ice storms or emergency declarations and addendums, that work is not billable. We're not billing that to the risk fund. We're not billing it to West. That gets credited basically to the Board of County Commissioners. So all that work is non-billable. We receive no revenue from that at all. I will point out, though, I would predict that we are going to have increased reliance on the general fund over the course of years. This year's increase was 13.2, higher than normal. Our regular budget increase, though, was just 5.5, which shows, again, I think there is no fat in this budget at all. And so we tried to be mindful of the board's direction, Administrator Schmidt's direction, in not having any increases at all. The only item that you will see as a item increase is going to be on the next tab, which will be tab 27-7. And if you look down at operating expenditures, that is, I think that's where it is. That is, we're carrying over some of that. That's for a new software program, which is to enable us to have better access, cloud access when we work remotely, to have access to legal documents. And that is a software program that's kind of based on a user fee on a monthly rate. So that's what we have. We started it this year. It's a carryover to next year as well. Those are the only increases that this board has approved over the course, I think, of the last 3 years, other than people, paper, and pencils. So I am here to receive and take any questions that the committee might have.
Thank you so much. Mr. Cernach, and then Commissioner Smith, and then Commissioner Shaw.
You mentioned billing rates. Is there flexibility in that, or are they set by some policy outside of your control?
Starts with this.
Excellent question. It's something really that predated me. We have evaluated it. It is far below the market rate, way far below the market rate. And we're exploring currently other models where it's not a billable rate. Currently what we do, we'll bill to the risk fund, which is a group that all departments contribute to for litigation cases, tort litigation, personal injury, jail cases, and things like that. Those are some of the billable items that we recover on. We are reluctant to increase the rate for fear that it might dissuade folks from seeking legal services. And we're in-house. I consider ourselves bought and paid for, and that's why it's important to allow easy, early, unfettered access to legal services to avoid problems later down. So if people have to budget 10 grand a year to talk to the lawyer, they're not going to talk to the lawyer for the most part.
When's the last time those rates changed?
Before my tenure, which was in March of 2011. So we've had it for 11 years, the same rates. I know we've been working with finance, and we've been working with a larger group on a better model, or a different model, per se.
or some other method of cost sharing?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I just, it sounds like there might be a better approach than increased reliance on the general fund.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Commissioner Smith, and then Commissioner Shaw, then Savas, then Fisher.
I'm curious, Stephen, does your department use the law library?
We have. We don't use it that often, but they will have treatises and other learned resources down there that are not accessible on our computer database, which is a Westlaw product, which has a very broad access. But if you want legislative history from the turn of the century for Oregon, that's where you would go. It is an excellent resource. Jennifer is an excellent resource for us as well. And if you're ever interested, there's an original Ernest Hemingway letter down there posted on the wall, too.
How did you know that Ernest Hemingway was one of my favorite authors?
Well, there's a letter down there.
I have a picture of me doing on his typewriter.
Oh, really?
Yes, in Florida.
Awesome.
On the Keys in Florida. He had a house down there. But anyway, so if you were to try to reimburse expenses to the law library based on how much use you would have, would you be, not today, would you be able to calculate that for us?
I'd be able to calculate it depending upon what the metric was. Is it the attorney time devoted to it? Is it the cost of the resource?
Well,
Or
the cost of the resource, not your attorney time.
it would be relatively nominal on an annual basis, I would say. But yes, we'd be able to calculate something like that.
Okay, great, thank you. I was just curious. I'm not asking for that now.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Shaw?
No, I found my answer
Okay.
in here. Good. I just want to say, keep buying your pencils at Walmart.
Will do. Thank you.
Commissioner Savas and Commissioner Fisher?
Okay, so, Mr. Madcourt, page 27.7, the materials and services line, I guess it's the paper and pencils again. I see you have a 0.7% increase. Is that realistic? Not a big deal, but I'm just curious, or is that kind of more of a number that was perhaps modified or cut or I'm just kind of get a sense of what inflation is for paper and pencils.
Those are the types of, I think it's realistic, but there are also things that we try to be mindful of the administrator's direction as well. There might be some unforeseen cost incurrence that occurs over the course of the next year, but we try not to have any significant increases in our ask this year. But it is leasing for copier machines. We all got new computers, so that's not going to be an increase this year. We typically phase those every year, but we all got laptops at the advent of COVID from some ARPA dollars and other things. So we're not going to have any of those, and those are typically a $60,000 to $70,000 chunk every year.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Fisher?
Yeah, I appreciated Ken's question because that was kind of what I was going to ask too. But I have another question along the lines. We can rewind to Ken's comments and then to this one. So we have these rates which are very below market, and I absolutely agree they need to stay that way so that our departments who allocated costs will not balk it, asking for legal help whenever they need it. We need to facilitate that enterprise-wide. But I'm curious, it brought up my question, if we ever do, and I know there's probably not many opportunities to seek attorney fees, if we prevail in a case and it's warranted, do we bill the other side at that higher market rate for our cost recovery?
We've only done a attorney fee petition once, and it was at our current rate. I don't think we inflated it at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would be something that I would really encourage us doing, just to market years of experience, which is what they award.
And it got denied
Well, attorney fee awards usually do,
Well,
so
against
they're
the
really
government.
hard to prevail.
against the government especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no
thank
other
you.
cards for questions or whatever, it's always a delight to listen to you and to be here with you. So
Thank you,
thank you so
Chairman.
much, and thanks for your key staff back there for joining us today
Excellent.
also.
Thanks.
I appreciate that.